Okay, so we're going to review where we stand with Ether here. So similar to the Bitcoin analysis, we'll start on the long-term chart, looking at the monthly charts. So it looks like there's a 15-month cycle for Ether. This is very speculative. There aren't as many data points because the asset hasn't been around for as long, obviously. But you can see from low to low, this first cycle, you could say was 14 months. The advancing phase lasted 8 months, then we declined for about 6 months. Then we have this advancing phase for 13 months. Very short decline. It looked like we were gonna, we started a new cycle, topped very early, month two, then rolled over sort of early. So that was a shorter one, just 9 months. Very, very short advancing phase. Then you have 6 month advancing phase, drop down into a low month 15 again. And now we advanced for 14 months, had a short low, had a short sort of decline. And now presumably we've started a new 15-month cycle potentially, right? And so that would put us, the end of this cycle, the low would be October. Now, if the low is October, it doesn't necessarily mean that the high has already happened. But as you can see, we do have a swing high in place here. Once we drop below the low of November, which was approximately, right around 3,900. And then we formed another swing high, so a lower high as of this month, and we're actually still below that level right now. That level is 3470, which you'll see on the lower time frame is a significant level on the daily as well. So not looking great on the long-term chart, but at least we have very, very clear levels. Again, imagine if we had this as a top on month 5, that could mean another 10 months of decline. It won't happen in a straight line necessarily. Doesn't mean we've already hit the top, but it now has to prove itself essentially. If we drill down into the weekly cycle, we are on week 29. This top, this was week 20. So we've been declining for about 9 weeks. Totally possible that, this becomes our ICL, which means we'd have a DCL this week. We'll look at the daily chart, see how likely that is. But you can see we're going to have a new candle in like tomorrow at 7 p.m. Once we get a high above this high, which is 3413, that'll give us a weekly swing low. But we really need to get above this candle here. You see this huge bearish candle that took us all the way down. We really need to get above here. And even there, we're not necessarily out of the woods. Still sort of a lot of wood to chop. If we go to look at the daily chart finally, you can see this cycle, the previous cycle lasted 74 days. You had this really long wick. This wick actually held for quite a while, right? So you had this, like, we'll zoom in. You had this major low, price closed here. So like, you're like, oh, okay, well, we're like, we're going to be okay. We rallied a little bit and then we came down. Another rally, lower high, lower low, lower high. And then it looked like, okay, maybe we're out of the woods. Turns out this was just a large bear flag from this decline. See, this decline, this is a lower high / bear flag. Then we make a lower low, this low being lower than that. Then we make another lower high, this high being lower than that high. Another lower low, this low lower than that one. Presumably, this is another lower high, right? Maybe we creep up to here on day 45, 46, maybe day 50, and then we sort of roll over. So we maybe go like here, we even get all the way up to like 3,800. And then I suspect we come down all the way to the 2650 range, maybe in early February. We'll see. That's assuming that this cycle lasts exactly 60 days. But again, the real important thing the really important thing to watch would be these monthly levels, which again, that 3470 level being the first swing high we need to get above, that is not coincidentally the low from this wick. So this low held for a long time, right? We chopped around here. We finally broke it when we cascaded lower. And now we're basing right below it. This on a smaller time frame, like if I zoomed in to like the hourly, or you can see this is a bit of a little bull flag that you're trying to kind of break out. We'll see. This is right now looking like it may be starting to roll over. But 3470 is going to be a really important level again because that wick held for so long, and so we'll have to see does it offer a lot of resistance? Do we get through and then we kind of base above it? That's going to be the thing to watch on the short term, and then long term you want to see those monthly levels again. So we'll see.